It's not every day that fans from across the world get a shot at something this rare. When Kendrick Lamar launched his grand national tour earlier this year, the live shows themselves became more than just concerts. They became cultural events. Each city brought out its own energy, and nowhere was that more true than in Los Angeles. The LA stops of the tour weren't just another pair of dates on the calendar. They were homecoming shows. They were statements. And for those who attended, they offered something even more coveted, exclusive merchandise that couldn't be found anywhere else. Welcome to celebrity rap life, where the red carpets never roll up and the spotlight never fades. The rewards are legendary. Because in celebrity rap life, every downfall can become a comeback, and every headline tells a deeper story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next. For weeks after those legendary nights, fans speculated whether the one-of-a-kind pieces, designed specifically for the LA shows, would ever see a wider release. The answer came swiftly this week. Kendrick Lamar has now officially made the entire LA-exclusive Grand National Tour merch collection available for purchase online. What was once a treasure only for those lucky enough to be in the building at Crypto.com Arena is now accessible to fans everywhere. But like anything tied to the Compton artist's name, this drop is anything but ordinary. The move isn't surprising when you think about Kendrick's deliberate, calculated approach to everything he does. From his music to his visuals, to the rollouts behind each project, there's intent. And the LA merch was always something more than a typical concert souvenir. These weren't simple tees slapped with a date and venue. They were cultural artifacts, pieces that captured the spirit of the tour, the moment in LA, and Kendrick's continued dominance in the world of hip-hop and art. The response has been electric. Fans flooded social media the moment the news dropped, showing screenshots of orders, discussing which pieces they were going after first, and speculating how quickly the collection would sell out. For those who couldn't make it to the shows, it's an unexpected gift. Finally a chance to own a piece of what felt like history in the making. Digging deeper into the collection itself, the aesthetic tells a story of its own. It draws heavily from themes that Kendrick has been weaving through the Grand National Tour since it began. There's the fusion of streetwear and fine art sensibilities. Stark, minimalist designs are contrasted with layered text, cryptic graphics, and knowing nods to both Kendrick's past and present discography. One standout piece features a striking rework of the tour's official artwork, combined with lyrics from standout tracks performed in LA. There are oversized hoodies, structured jackets, and heavyweight tees, items that feel as intentional as Kendrick's verses. The quality of the materials matches the ambition of the designs. This is not fast fashion. It's not the type of merch that's likely to fade after one wash. It's built to last, to be worn with pride, to become part of the personal collections of fans who understand the moment they're buying into. And then there's the messaging. Throughout the Grand National Tour, Kendrick has been more pointed, more unapologetic, and more locked in than at any other point in his career. This isn't just about celebrating hits or riding the wave of past successes. It's about staking a claim, making statements, pushing the art forward. The LA shows, in particular, embodied that ethos. From the surprise appearances to the tracklist decisions, to the way Kendrick commanded the stage, these were nights that reminded everyone why he's still at the absolute top of the game. The merch extends that energy. It's not generic. It's not for everyone. It's for those tuned into the frequency Kendrick is operating on right now. Of course, the wider release also speaks to something else that's been happening around this tour, a shift in how Kendrick engages with his audience. The Grand National Tour has already broken attendance records in multiple cities. Beyond that, it has deepened the sense of community among his fans. People aren't just coming to hear the hits, they're coming to be part of a larger movement. And this merch drop feels like another layer in that experience, a way to extend the energy of the shows into the day-to-day lives of his listeners. For those who were in LA that weekend, wearing one of these pieces hits differently. It calls back memories of the performances, the roar of the crowd during Not Like Us, the emotion pouring through Man at the Garden, the energy that filled the arena when Kendrick brought out surprise guests from the West Coast's deep talent bench. For those who watched from afar, it's an opportunity to feel connected to that energy, to own a piece of a moment that's already being written into the history books of modern hip-hop. And it's worth noting just how fast this collection is moving. Almost immediately after the drop was announced, key sizes in some of the most hyped pieces began to sell out. Vintage-inspired crew necks with subtle references to Kendrick's discography? Gone in hours. The heavyweight jackets. Only select sizes remain. Even the minimalist black-on-black pieces, which might seem understated at first glance, are now among the most sought after. It's not just hype for the sake of hype, either. These are fans who understand that this collection marks a particular chapter in Kendrick's career. It's also reflective of a wider trend in how artists are approaching merch in 2025. Where older models relied on mass production and generic designs, artists like Kendrick are leaning into craftsmanship, storytelling, and limited availability. The result: merch that isn't just worn to the gym or tucked away in a drawer, but incorporated into everyday fashion. Pieces that stand shoulder to shoulder with the best streetwear labels out today. Another layer here is the deeper meaning behind the designs themselves. Kendrick's work has always been about more than music. He uses every medium, video, stage design, wardrobe, and yes, merch, to tell a story. The LA collection carries subtle but intentional callbacks to moments in his career, from Good Kid, Mad City, to Damn, to the latest material from the Grand National Tour. Careful eyes will notice references embedded in the graphics, layered type treatments, cryptic dates, motifs connected to the visual art Kendrick and his team curated specifically for this tour. For collectors, these pieces are gold. Just as fans have scrambled for original tour posters or limited vinyl pressings in the past, this LA collection is already generating buzz in secondary markets. But the purpose of this release isn't just to feed resellers. It's to give genuine fans a shot at pieces they previously had no access to, leveling the playing field after the intense FOMO that followed the Los Angeles shows. Behind all of this is the sense that Kendrick is curating not just a tour, but an experience, something that lives on well after the music fades and the stages are torn down. His vision stretches across disciplines, part hip-hop, part high art, part social commentary, part street culture. The merch is just another thread in that tapestry, but an important one. It allows fans to carry the energy with them, to signal their connection to this cultural moment, to participate in something larger than themselves. As the Grand National Tour rolls into its next wave of dates, it's clear that this isn't just about selling concert tickets. Kendrick and his team are setting a new standard for what an artist-driven movement can look like in this era. The merch drop, particularly the LA exclusive release, is a reflection of that ambition. For fans who've been along for the ride since the early days, or those discovering the depth of Kendrick's vision for the first time, this is a moment worth seizing. The online release is live, but not for long. If the early frenzy is any indication, the collection won't be sitting in carts for much longer. And when it's gone, it's likely gone for good. In the broader sense, what Kendrick is building through this tour, and through thoughtful drops like this one, will resonate long after the final show closes. It's a new kind of blueprint for artistry, one where every detail matters, where every piece of the puzzle connects back to the whole. The LA merch drop is more than a collection of clothing. It's a piece of the story. And for those paying attention, it's one more reminder that Kendrick Lamar isn't just playing the game, he's redefining it. This story is far from over, and the truth is still unfolding. I want to hear what you think. Drop your take in the comments. And if you don't want to miss the next twist, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next.